What's good, Slimehouse TV, myself Theo Kane. This is the second part to the little 2020 first pickups of the year video. In the last one I was drinking and I've literally, look, I took a fucking sip. This thing I actually bought online a few weeks ago and I filmed a little video on my Insta story. If you don't follow me on Instagram, it's at Theo_Kane_Slimehouse, and I put up little videos of me toy hunting and things like that on my story. And I went to pick something up from the post office, and on the way I had a look in the charity shop and shit like that. Basically, the whole roundup at the end of the video was like, check on our YouTube soon because you're gonna see me review the toy, and I've only just got around to doing it now, and that was weeks ago, and that's just because I got distracted and backlogged and all the usual shit. So just picked up the Henge parcel. It's big. It's got some good shit inside, or one good thing. But this is a really cool toy that we're gonna look at today, and it's this thing. The Action Man Gargon. Check that fucker. Bad boy, huge box as well. I love huge, outrageous, oversized toys, and this is just a fucking bad boy example of that. So in the late 80s, Action Man was on its way out. So they was like just trying to think of anything that they could to try and boost sales towards the end. They brought in like the ROM Space Knight figure as part of the Action Man line. You got Captain Zargon and things like that, and Action Man went from being military and based like very much in real life to being proper sci-fi, and I'm not an Action Man collector, but there's some things from the line that I'm like, yo, that's bad boy, I'd love that in my collection. And this is something that I always had my eye on. I always wanted one, and just kept looking for the right price. You'll find these days people always want to chuck a big price on everything. Just don't go for the big price. Hold out a little bit. Even if it takes you a few years, hold out a little bit and get it for the price that you're comfortable with. So this wasn't cheap. It wasn't a tenner, but it wasn't 100 quid either. It wasn't stupid expensive. It was a nice price, and I'm very happy with the price I got it for. I know it's missing the remote, but I don't really mind. It's just like a little tiny remote. I'll tell you why it needs a remote in a minute, but if we just talk a little bit about the figure and the box art.
The Action Man team set off in a grim race against time, but they are already too late. The dreaded Gargon has been unleashed upon humanity by the Intruder, and it's up to the Space Rangers to stop him with their laser gun.
It's got some fucking awesome painted artwork. Painted artwork is my favourite style of art. It always looks like a VHS cover, and a VHS cover is my ultimate favourite artwork of all time, and this is very reminiscent of that. This thing's called the Gargon, but it was actually released in America first under the Super Joe line, and now Super Joe, they changed Action Man from a 12-inch figure, because you've got your classic Action Man that was always 12-inch, 30cm ruler, and they took it down to like 10-inch, and it was the Super Joe line, which is a lot more sci-fi fantasy based, and this was meant for that. So they repackaged it over here and they called it the Gargon. In America it was called the Terran. Time Door exposed, Action Man team called in to fight the Gargon. So we're going for that like Atomic Age style giant space monster destroying Earth, and Action Man and his team are called in to save it. At this point, Action Man has got a team. He's not just one guy, the greatest hero of them all. He's got a whole fucking team. So if we look inside, and it's big and pretty heavy, this thing, we've got... Fuck me. I can't get him out and he's walking. There we go, the Action Man Gargon. Looks fucking alive with his legs going like that. How do I turn him off? I forgot. Oh, there we go. So this thing walks forward like that, and what you're supposed to do is have the remote for it, and you press the remote and then it stops dead in its tracks. This doesn't have the remote, so I won't be able to show you that feature, but that's why it was a bit cheaper, because it didn't come with the instructions or the remote. I had to put these big fucking batteries in it. Back in the 80s, the 70s and the 90s, anything that moved needed these big fucking chunky ass batteries. And I had some batteries that I bought first of all and put it inside, and they were too small, so I had to go back and get bigger batteries. So it makes it pretty heavy because there's 3 of those things inside. It's also got the battery case, which is nice because that's the kind of thing that's always lost. And the batteries go in very crudely as well. Like they really hold themselves in place, and there's no like real locking mechanism to it. And just looking at it straight up, it's such a fucking awesome toy. It reminds me of the Kraken from Clash of the Titans. That's like another one of my holy grail toys that I'm definitely gonna get one day. I've just never found one at the right price. A bit like this thing, but the Kraken's a lot rarer than this. It's got a dope face like a Triceratops. I love Triceratopses. I don't know the plural for a herd of Triceratopses, but yeah, come on, I got a skull tattooed of one on there because, like I said in the last video, I'm a vegetarian, and so was the Triceratops, but it would still fuck up a T-Rex. So I wanted to get an Intruder. So there's two villains that were like the adversaries of Action Man at that time. There was Captain Zargon, which I have, or which I fucking love. That's like one of the dopest figures to ever come out of the 80s. And then there's a guy called the Intruder, which is like a caveman that rides on the top of this. And I wanted to get one. And then because I was going to the toy fair, I said I'm going to keep my eyes peeled for one, because they do come up at toy fairs. You do see them especially loose. It's not really a rare figure. And I'm confident that I'm going to see one at the toy fair when I go. Shouts to my guy Fistful of Collectibles, because he said to me while I was there, yo, I've just seen an Intruder, I'll take you to it. A loose one. And then on the way to find it, I actually came across this. A boxed Intruder, which is what I really wanted, because I've got this boxed. I'd like that boxed as well. I love the fucking artwork on it. So whilst we was walking to look for the loose Intruder, I saw this one and got it for a real nice fucking price, man. A price that I was so fucking happy with. So I got this guy, the Intruder. Again, it's got the dopest artwork, that dopest painted artwork, and his face is fucking weird. Let's open it up and I'll show you what he's like inside. So this guy, the Intruder, as you can see, he's smaller than an Action Man, because he was supposed to be the adversary of Super Joe. You got this guy, and then you got like his minions that wore silver armor, and they didn't have a beard. They was just the same toy but painted different. He's got like a bear hugging action where he can pick Action Man up and fucking crack my man's spine and bust all these fucking bones up. So this is the actual thing, the actual dude that's supposed to ride on the top of the Gargon. He rides on it very shit. There's no like saddle mechanism or anything like that where he could actually sit on top of it, so he doesn't even really go on it very well. This guy has very limited articulation, like he's very, very simple. And as a figure, like I always thought this was like the douchiest toy ever. As an adult, I appreciate it a lot more, but as a figure, like I hated characters with like bare feet and stuff like that. He's proper caveman. And I thought, how is this guy going to fight Action Man with laser guns and shit like that? And then you've just got this dude with a bear hugging action. So I hope you liked this episode. If you did like it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Consider giving us a little like and a comment on the video, because that goes a long way. You wouldn't think it goes such a long way, but it really, really does. Shouts to all the new subscribers. If you're watching this for the first time, I'm Theo Kane. This is Slimehouse TV, and we'll catch you in the next one. But for now, we're gone. Boom.